Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. We got new suspension for the 450 finally. So as you guys know, so far every video you've seen of me riding the new 450 has just been on stock suspension. Haven't gotten it revalved or resprung for my weight or anything. Just been grinding it out on the stock stuff because honestly that's normally what I do when I get a new bike. I just ride it stock. I've never actually had like good suspension done up until this year when Racetech stepped up and helped me out. All through my amateur career I've just ridden stock suspension. That was good enough to get me up onto the podium in the B class at Loretta's. My first pro national was on stock suspension, and a ton of pro nationals after that were on stock suspension, and it seemed to work out pretty fine for me, so I never really saw the reason why I should upgrade until this year. Like I said, Racetech stepped up and helped out big time on the 250, and it made a world of difference. So needless to say, when I got the new 450 I knew that I wanted some Racetech gold valves in that thing, and that's exactly what they did for me. Let's go take a look at this suspension real quick, give you guys the lowdown on it, and then we'll get into the test between the new suspension versus the stock suspension that I've been riding on ever since I got the bike. So let's go take a look at it. All right guys, so here it is. All year during the pro nationals I've been running the Racetech gold valves, and I've been absolutely loving it. So I knew that when I got the 450 I wanted the Racetech gold valves back in this thing. This is just stock componentry, it's not like an A kit or anything, but I did have SGB Racing coat the shafts and the bodies, so it's got the nice burnt bronze factory look with the coating in there, and then the black lowers and the dark gold uppers. So there's a look at the suspension. Obviously you guys can see it's not on the bike right now, and there's a good reason for that. You guys know I love to do these comparison videos, and I know you guys really like them, and you guys have been wanting me to do an aftermarket versus stock suspension, and this is the perfect opportunity. So if you guys couldn't tell, we're already geared up and we just got back from a warm-up session. We came out to my buddy's private track, which we rode last weekend, and they haven't groomed it yet, so I figured it would be the perfect place to take the new suspension out and test it out because it's pretty rough, pretty hard pack. The bumps are really square edge. Honestly, me and Joey were out there and track's sketchy, I'm not gonna lie, so it's gonna be a good test between the old and the new suspension. You guys know my standard procedure. Gonna take the bike out with the stock suspension and do a couple laps, get a lap time, and then I'll swap the suspension out and do another moto with the new suspension and get some lap times. What I'm really interested to see with this suspension is how it's gonna help me out towards the end of these motos. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna wear my Lit Pro for the entire like 20 to 30 minute moto and look at the results and see not only what my fastest lap time was, but see how much my pace drops off towards the end of those motos. So I'm gonna look at my last couple laps and see how much slower they are than the first couple laps, and the hope is that with the new suspension it will help me save that energy and go faster later when the track is rougher and when I'm more tired. But anyways guys, that's enough talking. There's gonna be a lot of riding in this video, so let's just jump right into the stock suspension moto, and I'll throw some GoPro up as usual and get the lap times going for you guys. It is. I cannot hold on to it. It is so sketchy. Whew. All right, well, Moto 1 on the stock suspension is done. We did 20 minutes. The track is absolutely gnarly. It's not like huge braking bumps out there, but like I said, we rode out here about a week ago, and then the track hasn't been touched since then, and it hasn't rained, so the bumps are like really, really hard and square edgy. And so anytime I hit a little bump, it feels like I am getting sent right over the bars. Perfect scenario to test out the suspension, because I think that it's beating the crap out of me out there. And like after that 20-minute moto, I was actually pretty tired. So I wouldn't be surprised to see quite a few seconds added on to the end of those laps compared to the first laps. Hopefully when we have that new suspension on, it'll get rid of that and I'll be able to push hard the whole time. Fingers crossed that that's the case, really hoping so, but we're gonna go throw the suspension on this thing and we'll see you guys in just a second. Dude, unreal. It felt like a completely different track.
Wow.
You see how the rear end's so bouncy? Like when it goes down, it comes right back up.
Yeah.
My other bike would just squat. And then anytime I'd be accelerating out of a corner and I'd hit a bump, I was already like on the bumper, so it would step out sideways. Now I feel like when I come out of the corner, it's sitting real up high and it just soaks everything up. All right, what's up guys? Obviously we're back at the apartment now. We got everything cleaned up and put away, and we got the Lit Pro data up on the app. And we're taking a look at the data right now. Pretty interesting. That's pretty much what I expected to see out of this data, just based on how I felt while I was riding. So first we'll take a look at the stock suspension moto. My fastest lap time was a 1 minute 16:67, and my slowest lap time towards the end of the moto was a 1:20.12. So kind of a shame by that. I actually slowed down about 3.5 seconds, but obviously the track changes while you're motoing, so I'm not sure if it was just all tiredness or whether the track was getting a little bit more rough, but there you guys go. Fastest lap, 1:16.67. Slowed all the way down to a 1:20.12. Now we'll go ahead, take a look at the session with the Racetech SGB suspension. So here we go, fastest lap time was a 1:15.95. So a little over a half a second faster. It's like 0.7 seconds or something like that, which is pretty big on a track this small. You figure a pro national track is about double the length of this track, so. And then looking at my slowest lap came on lap 6 with a 1:18.00. So I only slowed down about 3 seconds that time. So as you can see, fastest lap was a little faster, and my slowest lap was over 2 seconds faster than the slowest lap with my stock suspension. Really stoked to see those results. Honestly, I wasn't really sure what to expect because, I mean, obviously, when you do upgrades to your bike, you always want to believe that they're going to make your bike better, but you never really know for sure. Keep in mind, that was my very first time out on the Racetech suspension, and I was still that much faster, and I've been riding on that stock suspension for a couple months now, so I was really comfortable on the stock suspension. Had it all figured out, the little nuances I had figured out, I knew how I was going to react. My very first session out on the SGB Racetech suspension, smashed it. So that's really awesome to see. On this video, I'm just focusing on stock versus Racetech suspension, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about what's better about the Racetech stuff. That'll be in my next video. I'm going to head back out to a track tomorrow and get a bunch of footage riding on the new suspension, and I'll do some commentary over that, talking about what I like about it and just the differences between the stock and everything. So keep an eye out for that video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's one you guys have been wanting to see for quite a while, so I'm really stoked that I was able to make it happen. But anyways, guys, like I said, keep an eye out for the video where I'll be going over the new suspension in depth. We'll have a lot of CR250 two-stroke content coming up. We're gonna strip that thing down and get that suspension set off to get it all coated and set up by Racetech as well, so keep an eye out for that one. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing if you haven't already. And that's gonna about do it for us, so we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace out. Thank you very much for watching. Later.